stand still. The other leg, flexion, okay? Very good, good position. Extension. Also very good. And then go to the side. This is called abduction. So you've done flexion, extension, abduction. Is it more difficult on this leg or easier? For most of you, you have one leg that you favor over the other ones. Okay, you can put it down. Thank you very much. Good. Okay. So with that, these are muscles that are really important to you. The gluteus medius. Very good. And they're important because they help you with direction changes on the court. So when you get into a rally on a tennis court and you hit the ball, you often move to the side, and then once you get to the side, then you push off again and come back to the middle. So the importance of that is you decelerate to come back to accelerate. So you go off to the side for a forehand, you hold that position, and then you go back and accelerate back to the center of the court very often. So that is the gluteus medius muscle, very important. So that's the very first muscle group that I think you need to be aware of. Now the second thing that I would like to focus on is think about what you do in daily. You can stand off to the side for a minute, by the way. Thank you. You can stand to the side. Thank you. If you think about what you do in daily life, what do you do during the day? Most everything you do is in front of you. Isn't that correct? There are very few things you do behind you. So if you think about that, if you're in the kitchen, you're cooking, you do it in front of you. One of the reasons is your eyes are in front, so you can see what you're doing. So what we tend to do when we get older, we tend to get a little bit bent over. And most people that are older are bent forward, right? There are very few people that I know that are old and they walk like this. Hardly anybody, right? Because most people bend forward when they get old. So because of that, we tend to get a little tight in the hip flexors. And that's one of the reasons you bend forward so much. So we want to make sure we do some exercises to keep these muscles flexible, as flexible as possible. So think about your daily life activities, wherever you go, you're walking, you're busy doing activities, you're sitting at your computer, you're doing writing skills, you're on an airplane. A lot of that is sitting. And sitting in that position where you bend at the hip. So there are some exercises that are really important for you to do to help those muscles. And one of them is if you think about the smaller muscle groups, and I'll highlight those again, there's the iliopsis exercise, and those are the muscles that are involved. This is psoas and the iliacus. So if you have those muscle groups, both of them, and you want to train them, they start in the abdominal area and go to the legs, the upper leg. You want to make sure those muscles don't get too tight. So those are the muscles that you do the flexing with. So to do that, I want the kids to come out here for another minute. Please join me for a second. And let's just do a stretch. Okay? So I want you to work on the stretch. If you have a racket, have your racket, let me just put this down for a second. You have your racket up here, and I want you to lean back, and push your hips forward. Push your hips forward, so that you, as a coach, can see that the hips are even with the toes or even beyond the toes. So the leaning forward is up here, and back. So lean, so the hips are forward. So it's not only up here, but it's in the hip area. Very important exercise to be able to keep that flexible. Okay? So those are some of the important muscles up front in your body. So we've now talked a little bit about stability, and these muscles also work very much on the side-to-side movements. All of the exercises we're talking about involve the side-to-side movements and recovery towards the middle of the court. So the next one are called the gemelli muscles. And the gemellus or gemelli muscles are muscles that are also very important that help rotate the leg. So if I'm in this position, to rotate outward, here, outward, is a really important exercise to train young players in as well, because it helps in direction changes. Gemellus is a Latin word, for those of you that know Latin. I didn't pay that much attention during my Latin classes, but I should have. But the gemelli means twins. There's two of them. So the two muscles that are involved here are very important in the rotation of the hip. So I want all of you to just try that. Stand here, this leg up, and rotate to the outside. Put your leg down, and then the other leg. Put down another left leg, rotate to the outside. So the big bone in your leg, the femur, is the major bone that has to be directed to the outside here. So it also stabilizes the whole hip joint, and to make sure that you can bring the leg back from an abduction to an adduction position. Abduction, adduction. That's very important with this muscle group as well. So rotational strength. And I'd like to maybe have all of you come over here, follow me in this direction, and let's try a quick hopping from side to side. Let's use the alley right here, and I want you to hop from this side or close to that side and back, this side, that side, and back, and do it light on your feet. So try doing that once, up and back. Good. Very good. Okay, I don't want to hear you land. It's very light on your feet. Now with that, I want you to do the same exercise and do the hopping back and forth. And as you get to the middle here, I want you to land on the left foot, hold, and make a 45-degree turn. So you land here, right here, and then make a 45-degree turn. Very good. And when you make a turn, push from your left foot onto your right foot. Okay, very good. And hold that position when you land. Okay, very good. Hold, and so when you land on the left foot, hold, and as you hold, then turn outward. Rotate the hip. Very good. Nice.